So Bastian Schweinsteiger has come out and said that he is available for Manchester United. He will not be joining another club in Europe. He only left Bayern Munich because Manchester United was the only club he would leave. And effectively, he is available if wanted. We suspect it's pretty much black and white that Jose is not wanting Schweinsteiger as part of his plans. However, I think the vast majority of Manchester United fans do want him to be part of the plans. I've had people tweeting me today saying, you want Jones gone, isn't Schweinsteiger doing the same thing? There's a massive difference. Do I have to spell it out to you? There's a massive difference between Phil Jones and Bastian Schweinsteiger. Primarily, one of them is a calamity disaster who's never fulfilled his potential and is earning a lot of money and doesn't do anything for the club. The other one is a proven leader, a proven winner, proven experience, and one of the best midfielders of the last decade. Yes, he's coming towards the end of his career. Yes, he's got injury problems, but he still played and was involved in 20 games last year compared to Jones. I think it was 10, most of which were cameo substitution appearances. He's got a massive amount to offer. I know a lot of you love Fellaini. I don't. Schweinsteiger's a better defensive midfielder from him, and even I don't expect Schweinsteiger to play every week, but what he could bring to that squad, the experience, I just think it's ridiculous that he won't be part of it. I back the manager. I know what the manager's thoughts are, as we all do, that he doesn't want him part of the club, but I don't blame Schweinsteiger for wanting to stay. At the end of the day, the club, only a year ago, I was doing an ecstatic video with Alex at about 11 o'clock at night on a Saturday. Couldn't believe we were going to sign Schweinsteiger. It's not been the ideal year, but he deserves a second chance. It's only a year, and I have no sympathy with the club, or any fan who says, oh, he's just going to sit on his backside and earn 220 grand a week. Well, the club paid him that less than a year ago, so tough. It's tough. If he wants to sit there and earn his money, he's got every right to do it. I don't think he does. I think he's come out and said, I don't want to play for anybody else in Europe. I want to play for Manchester United. I'm here if they need me. I mean, for him to walk away is accepting defeat as well. Let's remember that this isn't your typical British footballer who's not got a brain cell between his ears. This is like Juan Mata, isn't it? This is the continental European footballer who is dedicated to his game and actually has got a bit to say and is quite intelligent. Schweinsteiger won't want to walk away from Manchester United with his tail between his legs. I don't blame him. He's a proud man. It was Ryan Giggs who said about September, October time last year, he said, I've never seen a signing buy into Manchester United more than Schweinsteiger has. And then a year later, you've got fans who just want him out the door, calling him a money grabber. And that's not the case. It just isn't the case. If you don't want him here, that's fine. It's down to your opinion. I want him to stay. I think he's got massive experience and quality to offer to the squad. If he's forced out by the manager, then he's forced out by the manager. You know, Van Gaal did it with Van Persie. I didn't want him to go last year, so we'll move on. But I think to say that Schweinsteiger's just trying to, sit and do nothing. If you look through his career, as I have, I've always followed him. That's why I was so happy when we signed him. He's a proud man. He's a leader. He's a winner. And for him to be playing with the reserves, I think it's wrong. We did it to Valdez, and I thought that was wrong as well. I think he deserves a lot better. And I think also that he does have so much to offer. But I do think, most importantly, I think a lot don't know. I think most importantly that he wants to be part of the Manchester United squad. He's been tweeting out consistently, well done, Wayne, on your testimonial, well done on the lads winning the Community Shield, well done on the lads winning this, that and the other. He's obviously been shunned by the club. They're trying to force him out, and to be honest, it's bully boy tactics. And I don't mind if the club want to sell him. Well, I do, because I want him to stay, but if Jose wants to sell him, then that's his choice. But I don't like the trying to bully somebody out, go and sit in the corner, nobody talk to him. I don't like that. And if he's a bigger man and he's saying, I signed for this club, it was the only club I was going to sign for after Bayern Munich, which is what he said a year ago. He's now saying, I don't want to play for anybody else in Europe because United was the only club I would have come to from Bayern Munich. If he's now saying, I'm not going anywhere in Europe, and I'm here if Manchester United need me, he's got a contract, they've got to pay him, and I don't blame him for that. It's a completely different situation to somebody like Phil Jones, who I think realistically is, in a way, sort of robbing the club of a living because he's always injured, and at his stage of his career he shouldn't be thinking, I'm going to sit and try. Somebody said to me today, well, maybe he loves the club as well and he wants to force his way back into the club. There's a big difference between Phil Jones and Bastian Schweinsteiger. The big difference is ability and leadership. Phil Jones doesn't have the ability. He doesn't have the ability. If he did, he would have shown it by now. And even on top of that, he's very injury prone. If I was Phil Jones, it's point to prove time, and you're not going to get a chance to prove that point at Manchester United, mate. You need to go off to somewhere like Stoke and rebuild your career, literally. You're not going to get an opportunity to rebuild your career at Manchester United. We're a different force now. If you couldn't do it in the Van Gaal and Moyes eras when we were finishing like 4th and 5th, you've got no chance of forcing your way into as a centre-back for a team that's going to be challenging for titles. It's just not going to happen. You've got to go away. And I'd wish him all the best to go away and try and rebuild his career like the likes of McNair have. But that's down to Phil Jones. Schweinsteiger's different. He's coming towards the end of his career. He's got nothing left to prove, but he's got a hell of a lot left to offer. Manchester United is his club. He doesn't have to leave. And in a way, I hope a situation develops that he can be given an opportunity. I don't wish injury on anybody, but that's probably the way it's going to happen. But maybe bad form, I don't know. Some fans are saying that it was a choice between Carrick and Schweinsteiger, and he chose Carrick to stay because the club want him to stay because he's due a testimonial. I can't believe that for 1 minute. It's almost like the Rooney has to get picked because it's part of his contract. I'm not saying neither is true. I just don't want to believe them because it's ridiculous. But Schweinsteiger, full backing of me. I think he's got the full backing of the United fans. Yeah, we back the manager, but I'd love him to stay, and I think the way he's been treated is wrong, but definitely gets the backing, and I back what he said today. He's there if the club need him, and this is the club he wants to be at. Fantastic. Thanks for watching. Get commenting below, and I'm doing this in the car because our next video is live at 8:30 for the preview, but I just wanted to talk about Schweinsteiger. Join us at 8:30 for the preview and the lineups. Unfortunately, Schweinsteiger won't be in it, will he? Speak to you later.